All right, here we go with Homework Help Module 4, Lesson 26. There's a bonus word here. I'll be saying a bonus word at the end of this video. If you say the bonus word to me or write it down on a piece of paper, actually write it down on a piece of paper, then I will give you 100 XPs and $100 in your bank account. All right, so let's get started. We'll go ahead and solve and support your answer with the model or tape diagram. Write your quotient in the blank. All right, so we're dividing a unit fraction by a whole number. So we're going to take our unit fraction and we see that it's a half. So we're going to cut our tape diagram in half. I'm going to try to color code it to help you out. All right, so let's cut this in half. And I'm using a straight line. So we're only worried about this half of the tape diagram. This is a whole, and we're only worried about this half. I'm going to draw it again underneath. All right, now that we have that tape diagram, we're going to divide half by fourths. So I'm going to divide this into fourths. Okay, and I'm going to do the same over here in the whole tape diagram. And this is going to allow me to see what one of these is. So one of these is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1/8. See how that we got that? This section here is actually 1/8 of a whole. So our answer is 1/8. Now another way to show it is that we have 4/8 divided by, okay, let me do that again. We have 4/8 because that's the whole thing. This whole thing is 4. We're going to divide that by 4 and we get 1/8. Let's do it in unit form. 4/8 divided by 4. 4 divided by 4, hopefully you see, is 1. So we get 1/8. Four divided by 4 is 1. So 4/8 divided by 4 equals 1/8. Okay, I'm showing it here in numerical form and here in unit form. Now there is a little bit of a step that I kind of skipped, so I'll write it in. Our original problem was 1/2 divided by 4. Excuse me. That half became 4/8. See how there's 4 out of 8. All right, I have to move a little faster because the lunch is almost over. So here again, we're going to start off by dividing this by fourths. Right here is telling us how to divide it. Okay, now we're only looking at one portion of that, so I'm going to draw it again. And we're going to divide this into thirds. So I'm going to do it up here as well. I'm going to do it to the complete number line. Okay, so we are dividing it. We're only looking at this section here, the 1/4. And of that 1/4, we're going to divide it into 3. So we divide it into 3. And we get one section of that. Okay? And that is 1/12. Now, some of you can see that if we multiply this, we're going to get that. And then we just move the number over. It's okay if you understand that. Right now, we want you to draw and show it with the tape diagrams. So how would the words work? A unit? It would be 1/4. Divided by 3. 1/4, excuse me, will become 3/12. It's hard for me to spell this, so bear with me. Divided by 3 will give us 1/12. Okay, now in numerical form, that would look at 1/4 divided by 3 is equal to 3/12 divided by 3, which is equal to 1/12. Okay, how do we check that? Okay, so we get our 1/12 and we multiply it times 3, which gives us 3/12. Which, if we simplify, divide by 3, we know we're going to get a unit fraction, so that's one way we can check. 1/4. This is the same as our original dividend. Okay, this time we're not going to use a tape diagram. We're just going to use our knowing a little bit about stuff. Okay, so we have half. We're going to go with the 20 on the bottom because we're going to multiply these two. Okay, and if I multiply, I need to have a 10/10. I'm going to divide that by 10, and that is going to give me, actually I'll write it over here, 1/20. And we'll do our check. 1/20 times 10 will give me 10/20, which hopefully you can see it without me even showing you. If we cross those out, we get our answer. Divided by 10, divided by 10, we get 1/2. All right, so the bonus word is peach. Peach, as in the fruit peach. Okay, so here we go. Our last one. We're going to go ahead and do fifths. We're going to multiply these two. We're going to get hundreds. Okay. We're going to get the hundreds. And one of those, 1/5 of 100 is 20. You can almost guess what the answer is going to be because it's going to be the number, the whole number. Okay, our answers are always going to be right now a unit fraction, so it's always going to have a 1 on top. 1/100ths. And again, we'll multiply and get 20 hundredths. And if we divide that by 20, because they can both be divided by 20, we're going to get 1/5. So we have a check. It's the same as what we started. Again, the bonus word is peach. Okay? Tell me that tomorrow. Write it on a piece of paper and give it to me at breakfast in the classroom, and you get 100 XPs and $100 in your bank account. All right.